First of all, actually, I want to sort of get to a little bit of breaking news that just happened right before we came online. There's an update here on the Disney Interactive blog from one John Blackburn, who is the Senior Vice President and GM of Disney Infinity. To quote him, he says, "By now you may have already heard the news that we have made the difficult decision to discontinue production of Disney Infinity. From the beginning, Disney Infinity was built for you, our fans, and wanted to take a moment to thank you, not just for your support over the years, but for creating a community that made Disney Infinity more than just a game. Our goal for Disney Infinity was to bring the best of Disney storytelling to life in homes around the world, and with your support we accomplished that. We hope that you have as much playing of the game as we had making it." So what's next for Disney Infinity? We have 2 final retail releases coming, including 3 new characters from Alice Through the Looking Glass later this month, and from Finding Dory, the playset. That's the new movie Pixar are releasing in a couple of weeks. Playset launching in June. And as we turn to the next chapter in our story, I want to thank everyone who helped bring Disney Infinity to life, particularly Disney's Glendale-based production and publishing teams, our external development partners, and of course the incredible Avalanche team for their tireless dedication to this project. But most of all, I want to thank you again for making Disney Infinity a part of our lives, and for adding to the Disney legacy by being part of this community. I'm a little shocked. I thought these games were selling well.
I thought they bought Star Wars and we're going to milk it in every possible way.
Right? I mean, I played 3.0. I hadn't played any of the other ones. I played 3.0 and I actually really enjoyed it for what it was. You're a father of children though, Aaron. You tell me, because for me I was almost taken aback by how playable. I mean, it wasn't like the most magnificent 3D platform ever made, but there was kind of enough substance there to make it an enjoyable play. But I kind of didn't really figure, I couldn't figure out what age group it was for.
Yeah, I definitely, I experiment with games with my kids, and they like sitting in my lap and watching me play Destiny for some reason. And I threw Disney Infinity at them, one of the more recent Star Wars updates. And I gotta say, for at least the 5-year-olds, it was still a little bit too complicated.
Right.
The Ewok Village had some really complex puzzle platforming, and the combat was actually pretty robust with combo attacks and things like that. So it depends. I think maybe a 7-year-old could have really related to Disney Infinity. For kids younger than that, it was still a little bit too challenging. Although I will say they did enjoy ripping the arms off of the Ahsoka Tano statue that I had.
I mean, that's the other part of it as well, is that this whole Toys to Life thing, we've very much gotten the impression, I think, as consumers, that it must be doing really well. I mean, we've got a couple of Amiibo addicts here in the office. And then the same with Skylanders as well. They seem to be, whenever I go to a friend's house and they got kids and they got a game console, they tend to either have some Infinity or Skylander stuff. Apparently that wasn't enough for them either. I
mean, ultimately the business model for any toy seller is to get the parents' wallets through their kid. You gotta get the kid to ask the parent for the toy. And that's when parents usually say yes, right? Because parents aren't gonna, for the most part, go buy this stuff on their own. So to me, that says that they didn't connect with the kids somehow, because they're the target market.
I guess when you think about what are the big Disney games that have come out in the past couple of years, I don't know if there was a Frozen playlist or playset on this. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. I mean, you're talking about Monsters Inc. and Incredibles and stuff like that, which are kind of a couple of years old now, and a couple of years in child's toys is like a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the Star Wars, I don't know, it just seems crazy that they're literally tanking this entire project based off of what apparently is low sale. I don't know. You thought Disney were flush at the moment.
Yeah, it was a few years ago, right before Disney Infinity came out, when I sat down to play it at GDC, and I remember thinking, and this was before they even had Star Wars, so I was thinking, okay, Disney plus toys, Skylanders by this point had proven to be really lucrative, and they were only on their second game, I think.
Yeah, that was originally a Spyro spin-off.
So it was essentially, that was their pitch: take Skylanders, add it to Disney, and then you can sell the models, which even from a collector's standpoint, that seems like it'd be lucrative, but also they're well-made toys.
I've bought 5 or 6 of those model sets to my shame, and they're sitting only because I'm a fan of Up, and I'm a fan of Inside Out, so I have, and they were relatively inexpensive actually as well, was the other thing in the sets. So, but yeah, still, you think Disney fans would buy anything?
That seems like the perfect storm of everything a kid or a lot of adults would like. That, especially with the collector's mindset, the fact that if you're into games, you can like them, and then if it coalesces with your interest in toys, that's just a perfect combination. I'm very surprised as well that it wasn't going as well as I thought.
Yeah.
I will say that my kids have surprised me. some of this might, and this is just my speculation, but some of this might be because a lot of kids these days will watch other kids play with toys on YouTube,
Right. Yeah.
rather than play with toys themselves. Much in the same way how like our generation's baffled when people watch gamers play games on YouTube rather than just, back in my day, we played the games ourselves.
Yeah. I had a friend of our family, a friend of the family's son stay over in our place over the weekend for his like 14th birthday, and I was at like. I gave him like Fallout 4 to play some Fallout 4, and he played it for about 30 minutes and went, actually, this is more fun to watch.
Yeah. So
It's just too complicated for him.
There's that weird trend these days where like kids and even young adults get on YouTube and they just sort of cathartically watch other people do it rather than do it themselves.
Yeah.
I wonder if the toy market...
It's like adults and porn.
Yeah.
Disney Infinity has Marvel too. I can't believe that.
Right.
Like I keep forgetting how much they have on like in their court for that.
Now I want to know how Skylanders are doing.
I know that was the precursor to that whole like subgenre, but I can't imagine they're doing really well if Marvel and Disney and Pixar are not selling these toys and these games.
Weird. Very strange. I guess, all we can say is sort of our thoughts go out to everyone who worked on production for Disney Infinity. I hope you guys land on your feet. And you made a really great game regardless of what happened to it. Best of luck. And hopefully we'll hear more about this over the next days and weeks as people start to sort of come out and flesh out this story. Interesting though, that's just breaking just as we went live.